Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the previous video, we already learned what is synchronization, what is synchronized method and synchronized block, along with how they work practically. Now in this video, we will learn about the difference between a synchronized method and a synchronized block. We will practically understand it, okay? By the end of this video, you will clearly understand the key differences between synchronized method and synchronized block, and when to use the synchronized method versus synchronized block in real programming scenarios. We are going to cover everything step by step. So keep watching till end to understand everything. Okay. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So why do we need synchronization? Let's understand it in short with real life example. So when two persons, suppose person A and person B, try to access a phone, that is a shared resource which is only one left in stock at the same time, then it can cause wrong result. This is because either one person can get the phone or the other person can, but both cannot get that single phone, right? In other words, when more than one person try to access the same resource or data at the same time, it can lead to wrong result. Similarly, in multi-threading, we create multiple threads and assign same task to them to perform. And to complete that specific task, they need some resources or data, and they use it in shared or in common to complete specific task. And when multiple threads try to access that shared resources together or at the same time, then it can cause incorrect result or unpredictable result. Same as two person try to access one phone at the same time can cause a wrong result. Similarly, in multi-threading, when multiple threads use shared resources or data at the same time or concurrently, then it can cause unpredictable result. And this type of situation in multi-threading is called as a race condition or thread interference. And we can resolve this problem using thread synchronization. And we can achieve thread synchronization in Java using synchronized method or synchronized block. So what is synchronized method and synchronized block we have already discussed in the previous videos. So the question is, we already have a synchronized method to achieve synchronization, then why do we need synchronized blocked, right? Because the job of synchronized method and synchronized block is same to achieve synchronization, right? Then why do we need of synchronized block? Why Java introduced synchronized block? What was need of it? So let's understand why synchronized block and how synchronized block is better to use than synchronized method. So first let's understand it with real life scenario, then I will explain it practically. Okay. So when you buy product online, first you search for the product, then select it, proceed to the payment, purchase the product. After that, stock will update, because when product is purchased, the stock need to be reduced. If stock is not updated in time, then multiple people may think the product is available and try to buy it, and it leads to conflict or overselling problem. And finally, your order is confirmed. Now imagine if the entire process, that is from searching product to the order confirmation, get locked and allow only one person to proceed at a time. That would mean no one else can search for the product, select it or even see it until the first person complete the process. If this happens, the system becomes very slow, it wastes a lot of time and the users may not be able to buy products online, right? And it's exactly same as synchronized method work. That means entire code inside synchronized method get locked. Even some part of code doesn't need lock, such as to search the product, to select the product doesn't need lock. All the threads should allow to access those code simultaneously. But some part of code need lock, such as payment process and stock updation need lock, right? And that exactly we can do using synchronized block. That means inside synchronized block we can put a critical code that really need lock, and rest of the code multiple threads can access freely. And that's the reason why Java introduced synchronized block. And synchronized block is better to use than synchronized method because using synchronized block we can lock only necessary code, that is critical code that's a really need a lock instead entire code. It helps to improve a performance of a program. So simply keep in mind, use a synchronized method when the entire code needs thread safety, that is protection, and use synchronized block when only a specific part of the code needs protection. Okay, clear? Now let's understand it practically. So this is the example of synchronized method that I explained in the previous video, and we will continue with the same example. Okay, so first I will show you what happened without synchronization, then step by step I will explain how synchronized method and synchronized block work, so you can clearly understand the difference between them. And at the end I will share a simple summary table comparing both synchronized method versus synchronized block. Okay, so first of all let me remove this keyword, synchronized keyword, from here, because first we are going to see what the scenario without synchronization. Okay, so here I have created two threads, thread 1 and thread 2, and assign the same task to both of them inside run method. So both the threads are performing the same task. Now inside run method I am calling another method, and it's buying product method. So whenever the run method executes, this method gets called, and inside this method I have written the stock updation logic. Here I have added a condition: if stock is greater than 0, then the order will confirm, otherwise it will show that product is out of stock. Now pay attention here, this method is a non-synchronized method. That means both the threads, thread 1 and thread 2, can enter this method at the same time and access the same resource or data, which is the stock variable. So basically there is no control. So when both the threads start executing the run method, they enter the buying product method together and execute the code simultaneously. And if the condition is true, both the threads will confirm the order. But that's wrong, because only one product is left in stock. So either thread 1 should confirm the order or thread 2, but not both. This leads to an unpredictable result. Now let's check it out. Let's run the code. As you can see here, both the threads have confirmed the order, which is incorrect. Basically, one thread should confirm the order and other should say out of stock, right? So this problem is called a race condition in multithreading, and we can resolve this problem using a synchronized method or synchronized block. So now let's resolve this using synchronized method. I will just add a synchronized keyword here. Now this method become a synchronized method. Now at a time only one thread can enter this method and can access this code. Now suppose thread 1 enter to this method, then thread 2 has to wait outside until thread 1 completes its execution. It cannot enter the method at the same time. So now there is a proper control. So thread 1 enter first, it check the condition, stock is greater than 0, so it's confirm the order and then decrease the stock by 1. Now when thread 2 enter, the stock is already updated, right? So this time the condition become false and thread 2 will show product is out of stock. So now the result is correct. So let's check it out. So let's run the code again. As you can see here, only one thread confirm the order and the other thread show product is out of stock. So now the question is, if synchronized method already work well, then why do we need a synchronized block, right? Now see here, consider inside this method there is a code of searching product and selecting product. So we can write here searching product and selecting product, and here we can write thread dot current thread dot get name, so that we can understand which thread is executing this code. Okay, same we can write here as well. thread dot current thread dot get name. Okay, all right. Now inside this method there is a code of searching product, selecting product and stock updation. Basically, in this method we have multiple operations: searching product, selecting product and updating stock. Now here the entire method is synchronized, which means only one thread can execute all three operations at a time. You can see if I run this code, you can see here both the thread access the code of all three operations one by one. First, thread 1 enter into a buying product method and access the code of searching product. Then access the code of selecting product, and after that access the code of stock updation, that is order is confirmed. Then thread 2 enter into a buying product method and access the code of searching product, selecting product and stock updation, that is product is out of stock. But basically if we think here, searching product and selecting product are just reading data, not changing it, because searching product means just finding information about the product, right? And selecting product means just choosing product, but they don't modify shared data, right? And therefore there is no need to lock searching and selecting product code. That means for this code there is no need of synchronization, right? Whereas updating stock operation is critical. That means this code is critical because here it reduces the stock value. It means share resource or data is getting modified, right? And therefore for this updating stock need synchronization, right? But problem is that if we put code of all three operations inside the synchronized method, then even the non-critical operations like searching product and selecting product will be locked. That means if one thread is just searching a product, other threads still have to wait even though they are only reading data. This leads to unnecessary blocking and reduced performance of a program. So instead of synchronizing the entire method, we can synchronize only the code that need synchronization. That means we can synchronize only the critical section, that is the part where shared data is modified, and we can achieve it using synchronized block. So let's put this critical code, that is the stock updation code, inside synchronized block. So let's put critical code inside synchronized block, and critical code means the code that needs synchronization and its stock updating code. So first let's create synchronized block and put critical code inside it. Alright. So first of all let's remove this synchronized keyword from here, because we are going to create a synchronized block, not a synchronized method. And let's create here synchronized block. So here we can write synchronized keyword with parenthesis, and here we will need to pass an object, and followed by opening and closing curly braces. So this is synchronized block, and here we will need to pass an object. Which lock we have to use, so that compiler will understand which lock has to use to process the synchronization. Okay. And now let's put the critical code, that is the stock updation code, inside synchronized block. So let's put this code inside synchronized block. Okay, all right. And now pass here object which lock we have to use. So here both the threads are using the object of this class, right? And therefore we will need to pass the object of this class inside here. So but instead of passing object directly, we can pass this keyword, because this represent the current class object. Okay, all right. So here instead of locking all the code, I have just locked the critical code, putting it inside synchronized block. So now what will happen? So multiple threads can access the code of search product and selecting product simultaneously. But when they reach to updating stock code, they access it one by one and will wait for each other. Clear? So simply keep in mind, a synchronized method lock everything, but a synchronized block locks only critical code or critical data. Okay. Now let's run the code again and let's see the output. So as you can see here, thread 1 and thread 2 access non-synchronized data simultaneously. You can see here, and synchronize data one by one. You can see here thread 1 order is confirmed and thread 2 product is out of stock. Clear? So simply remember, synchronized method log the entire method, whereas synchronized block allow us to log only the critical section. And this improve the performance of a program and give better control over synchronization. Okay. Now let's understand the comparison between synchronized method and synchronized block in table summary for quick understanding. So here I have present the comparison between synchronized method and synchronized block in table form. Okay, for quick understanding. So in synchronized method, entire method is logged, whereas in synchronized block only critical part is logged. And performance wise, synchronized methods are slower because threads needs to access entire code inside method one by one, whereas synchronized blocks are faster because threads need to access only the critical code. Okay, and synchronized method is less flexible, whereas synchronized block is more flexible because inside synchronized block we can pass the object that we want to lock, and the scope of synchronized method is it lock the whole method, whereas synchronized block lock only the critical section. So simply remember, if the whole method needs thread safety, use a synchronized method, and if only a small part needs safety, use a synchronized block. Okay, that's it. I hope you understand the difference between synchronized method and synchronized block practically. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. It motivates me a lot to make such useful videos for you. Now I am going to end here. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and thank you so much for watching.